Hi guys, so today I have what I think is a fun swap, something I just came up with literally. I was thinking about it ever since I created this Anna Griffin booklet, whatever they call it. What's the memory booklet? No, something like that. Either way, I really like the way it works, the way it's put together. It reminds me of things we used to do back in the day with envelopes, but this had card bases, right? If this is still available, I'll link it. It's not important to have this die set. I just wanted to show it to you where I got the inspo from for this new swap. But the link will be, or anything I use, the links will be, affiliate links means I'll make a small commission if you're purchase times to those links. And I hope you guys like the theme and the idea and how quickly this is going to be turned around, because I feel like it's not a lot of work and I really want you guys to just stick to what I'm asking. Please don't send anything more. Of course, nothing less, because that would be breaking the rules. Very simple, okay? You're going to send in, this is going to be called the All is Calm, All is Bright booklet swap, I suppose, something like that. I haven't even come up with the name, guys. All I was thinking about is all is calm, all is bright. Let me write that down so I don't forget. All is calm, all is bright. And I like that because it's very Christmassy. You can bring it more, you know, like nativity or just some brightness because you like bright colors for Christmas, whatever it is. Obviously you want to make it nice. I always like to go towards more elegant. I think this one's gonna be a little more playful the way, because the paper pack I chose, or I probably will use, I actually haven't committed to it, might be a little more playful, right? Like this looks super elegant, but the whole point is that you guys are going to receive, you're gonna send in and you're gonna receive back 4 cards, basically. So what I'm asking you to do is this part of it. You're going to make 4 of these. We're not sticking them together. We're not making them the book yet. We're not doing anything like that. I just would like you to send in 4 separate cards. Of course, I'll walk through it in this video. And then, so it's kind of like the folder swap, but instead of folders, it's these things. And at the end, we will put it together. When you get your 4 cards back, I'll show you how to put it together so it looks something like this. You do not have to have the Anna Griffin dies for this. We'll use like border dies or something else, right? We'll come up with a different way to basically make the same kind of thing, okay? So I hope that makes sense. So I'll show a tutorial after any of the swaps are back on how to do that. I just realized with the folder swap I haven't put a video together after that, but I've already pretty much put out videos that have to do with that, how to do that before. So basically you're going to get back 4 cards that have 3 pockets in them. So it's going to be something like this, basically. You're going to create 4 cards, 5 by 7, right? So we'll talk about that. You can put 3 pockets on it, whatever size pockets, that's fine, but they're going to be filled with very specific things. Please do not decorate the front and the back and everything else, just the inside of the card. Of course, we will talk about that. If you have double-sided paper, that's great. This has decoration on it because I created for this thing, but let's leave that for your recipient to decorate however they want. All you're doing, and please no more than this, please listen to my words, just the 5 by 7 card with 3 pockets. Again, whatever size your pockets have to be to accommodate what you want to include. Now, what you're going to include are 5 large die cuts. So I'll probably have a pocket like this one with my 5 larger die cuts. We need 5 label dies, and that could be layered if it's like a label die that you have that has a front layer and then like a background piece to it, so it kind of doubles up. That's fine. You need 5 of those, and 1 embellishment item. And I'm saying that because that way it doesn't get thick. We're not going crazy. It's something that fits in whatever your little pocket is. It, you know, shouldn't be too big or too thick, I guess. I mean, if it has to be taller, that's up to you. You're just going to work it out where you need it to be. But the most important thing are the 5 large die cuts, and that's a minimum 5 large die cuts, 5 labels, and then 1 embellishment item. And I just wrote down like stickers or like pearls. You know, I have some little pearls here that I had picked up that I can share. So of course my pocket won't be this one. It needs to be something a little bit bigger. And then let's see. Glitter mix. If you want to include a glitter mix, I would have put it in like a baggie. I have these guys. Actually, maybe I will do a glitter mix, but we'll see. I have these guys, and these seal really, really nice, so I'm not afraid that it pops open. If you do a bag for glitter mix, you pop it in there, make sure all the air is out, and then close it really nicely. Maybe you're going to put a little topper on this to make it look pretty or whatever. That's up to you. As far as decorating this, you know, whatever it is, even if it's like pearls or something else that you include, or stickers, you want to put something cute on it, that's fine. We are not looking to be thicker than like a 1/4 inch. Again, just like the folder swap, okay? So And that's it, you guys. So what I'm going to do is leave it open, because generally with folder swaps, they go pretty smoothly, they go pretty quickly. Last time people included way too much stuff and they were really thick, and then people say it's hard to judge what a 1/4 inch is. I don't have the problem with that, because I guess I'm always using those numbers in crafting. So look at your ruler. A 1/4 inch is like this, and that's actually pretty thick. For this one, it shouldn't even be that thick, okay, guys? So anyway, I mean, that's a good size. But some people went like 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, you know, so let's not do that, because I'm gonna send it back to you guys in a flat rate small flat rate, I guess is the word I'm looking for, priority box, which costs $10.40, and you'll include that with your swap, because we don't do PayPal and things like that anymore. It was just getting crazy. They don't consider it a personal account anymore for some reason, I guess because I was using it so much, and so then they started taking fees in a weird way, and it was leaving, you know, it would take basically $1 off each swap or whatever. So, and I don't use any of these other newfangled things. So you would include the $10.40 with your swap. You have until the 29th. Oh, I thought I wrote this down, to sign up. So I'm going to accept everybody that signs up until the 29th. Okay, so you know, midnight of the 29th, no more signups, and you have to send it in by December 7th. And I'm saying that because if you sign up today and you already know I'm going to do this, you should just start working on it. Honestly, I don't think this is going to take very long, because like I said, it's 5 die cuts, but it's for each card, right? So you got to think about what you're planning on doing, so it doesn't take up too much time, unless you have plenty of time to, you know, do that. But what I'm trying to say is that you're going to have to cut that several times, right? Of course, they're not all 5 the same, 5 die cuts. If you want to do layered die cuts, if you want to do like background die cuts, if it's like a whatever shape that has to do with your swap, you know, that's fine. I think we're just gonna have some fun with this, okay, guys? I know sometimes people put little paper clippies. That's okay, you know, if you want to decorate just a little bit. And so I really fear saying that, because I know some people will just go off. It needs to still be within a 1/4 inch, and this time I'm going to be much more strict about that, because honestly, like if I add a paper clip, that's all I'm adding. I'm not going to do all this other decoration, you know, that's I don't want anything to mess up the die cuts, but also it's about that, okay? So we're going to make the cards. We're going to make 3 pockets, whatever sizing that you need. We are going to put 5 large die cuts in one, 5 label type dies in the other, and some kind of embellishment item that is relatively basically flat, right? If that's a ribbon, you know, ribbon on like a little spool or a little piece of paper, just tuck it in there, or like in a baggie to tuck it in there, that works out. I mean, whatever it is that you would consider an embellishment item that is flat, so not beads, maybe some charms, because charms are relatively flat. You can put just a few, right? It would be just a few in a bag or something. Nothing hanging off of it. Again, don't put anything on the back. We're not decorating the back, so it's just the inside of the card, and you're going to do 4 of them. They're not going to be stuck together. It's just 4 separate ones, and I'll probably slide mine into a baggie just to make it look nice, but of course it's going to look very plain on the outside, right? Because that's just how it's going to look. But if you have double-sided paper, obviously it'll still have the decoration on this side from the paper, but nothing else, guys. Please listen to me, nothing else. Don't include anything else for your partners. Don't, you know, if you want to include a little name plate for you, like saying your info, just be a little card, not an actual card, just a little something, a little card with your name and info on it, like a business card, you know what I'm saying, or like a little tag that has your name and stuff. Not anything extra with that either. Just nice and flat, you guys. I'm just trying to impress on that. So what I mean is, like, if you include a tag with your name, don't have a tag and then include something hanging on the tag. Like, no, just the paper, okay, just the flat paper. And I think it'll be really fun and really simple. And when you get yours back, obviously there are going to be 4 different styles from 4 different people, and then we'll put them together like this. And it's something you can just kind of flip through. I mean, look at these guys. These are gorgeous. Obviously, they're bigger, and I use them the other day. I wouldn't send somebody ones that I use, but I was just putting them in here as an example. So whatever it is that you need to do for them to work, I prefer you to not stack the pockets, though, because that just makes them thicker like this. Because whatever you have here is, you know, you have back here, it's just going to get thick. So it has to be 3 pockets and not stacked on top of each other, guys, please. Again, that has to do with the thickness, but we'll talk about that in just a minute. So I'm sure I missed something. It'll be in the write-up, but usually in the write-up it's just very simple notes, and I ask you guys to refer back to the video. So all is calm, all is bright. Sign up by the 27th. Oh, I do have it written down right there. Send in by the 7th. I'll have my email in the description box. That's how you sign up. I'm just going to leave it open until the 29th, so I'm never going to say that it's full. and you need to have 5 large die cuts in each envelope, or sorry, in each card, 5 label dies, and 1 embellishment item. And we'll talk about what a label die is. It's just basically a smaller like die cut. Like I just picked up, or you can even make a small like tag. It just has to be something where the person can stamp like a sentiment, basically. So something smaller, right? Stuff like that. So we'll talk about that. And you're gonna send 4 of them. And that's it. Do not include anything else. Please do not include anything else. Don't include a little something on the side. No, just these things for each of the 4 members. And I think it'll go really smoothly, guys. If I remember something else that pops up, I will say that. But all is calm, all is bright, however you interpret that, I think this is going to be really fun. So it's basically an ephemera swap, but with a little embellishment and just a little something different, you know? So I think it'll be fun. Because even look at this, even the things I have in here look a lot thicker, and it was not thick in my opinion. So all right, let me grab my papers and maybe some dies. I'll probably use the Cricut, and we'll get to it. I'm going to start with my paper, the card bases. Now, I have obviously the Anna Griffin set, so I can cut, you know, pockets out of this, and maybe I still will, but I'm going to show you how to make your own pockets too, so that they have a little decoration, a little something. You know, I even recently picked up, again, because it's, you know, everything old is new, these guys. You can even use something like this to cut a little decoration on the top of your pockets, so they're not just real plain, but we'll talk about that in just a minute. So I'm going to just grab some papers. I was going to say your die cuts, they can be, you know, you can include some cut apart type things. I just, if you're going to do that, just make sure they're cut like really nicely, you know what I'm saying? Don't just include the piece of paper. Like if this, I would put on a guillotine and cut it like right on, if you want to include that as a die cut. I really want them to be die cuts, okay guys? Oh, this is so cute. There's all kinds of stuff on this one. Oh, a lot of it will be covered up, but you know what? I don't know. That might work for me. So let's see. We have both of these. Maybe I'll use the top part of it. I don't know. So 5x7, you know, it depends on your paper. These are cute. So that's a little more, have a juvenile feel to it, but my die cuts are going to be, you know, whatever, a little different. Oh my gosh, this is cute too. Okay, so maybe we'll use these 4. Okay. Now, if you have a piece of paper that doesn't have a direction, I guess it doesn't matter how you cut it, but 5x7 generally, you know, I'm going to cut it 7 inches tall and 10 inches wide. So I'm just going to take this to my paper trimmer. Now these guys want to stick together, and that's probably okay. So, oh my gosh, you guys, this is still available. We'll see. Tonic brings it back. It goes away. I was going to say, this feels really thick. I actually brought a 3rd piece of paper with me. People always ask me about this trimmer, but it's like always out of stock. So 7 inches tall and 10 inches wide, and it has to be like a standard card. And the reason I'm saying that is right now when I cut off this other edge, I'm like, oh no, hopefully people don't think that they're gonna then use this piece, because this is 12 inches tall or whatever, or orient it this way or something. I don't know how you would do that, but no, just a standard card. Okay, so now I have 2 bases that are 7x10. I'm going to cut 2 more and I'll be right back. So actually, that other paper, even though it was super cute, it was just not going to be conducive to cutting down to the sizes I wanted, because it just would cut like the little guy, or that's okay. So I'm going to take these to my scoring board, and we're just going to score at 5 inches on the 10-inch side. So 7 by 10. My tool. So again, 7x10. And generally, when I like to fold my cards, like if I was to score it here and fold it over, I would want to do it the other way. But anyway, so what I'm going to do is right now go 5, very gently. Another 5 mark, just a few times, and then I'm just going to fold it in half. The pretty side of your paper should be facing in, because that's what you're going to decorate. So I'll put that there. And again, you know, it's handmade, it's a little bit off. There we go. And so this side's going to be very plain. I know. Do not decorate. Please do not decorate. If you have double-sided paper, even better, but if you just have a plain paper, that's fine. Everything's going to be on the inside. We're not corner rounding, we're not doing anything else. Just, this is it, okay? So I'll score the other ones the same way. I have all my card bases. Again, 5x7 cards. You have some already ready to go. You purchase some or whatever. That's great. But the decoration needs to be on the inside, so you might have to flip your card inside out. I don't know. either way, I would just make my own. So I brought back these offcuts because these would make great pockets. Now, if you have the, my Anna Griffin die set, I have them here because I was like, I'm gonna use these pretty often, so I just kind of kept them out. As far as I'm gonna put this in a different thing, I'm just gonna leave them on those carriers. But this one's huge. I mean, if you want to do that, that's fine. It's just a little bit difficult to get out, or you can trim this one down if you like the width of it, but the height doesn't work for you. I would say cut it like here, and then just make a new little tab at the bottom, right? So it's a little bit shorter, which is something maybe I'm going to think about. But I do like the width of this one. I think this one works anyway for the die cuts that I have. It's very similar. So hopefully that makes sense if what I'm saying. Go ahead and run it through, and then just cut your paper down and create yourself a little score line, and then just trim that little notch out, and now you have a shorter pocket. Lots of ways to manipulate these things. I do have this beautiful thing. Of course I would want to use that, but for now I want to show you guys how to do it without having those dies, and hopefully that'll work out. Okay, so I don't know what my die cuts are like yet because I don't have them cut. So I'm assuming a little pocket that is almost the width of the thing here will work for me. So this is to make a larger pocket. I'm gonna have a larger pocket and two smaller ones. This is how I'm gonna do it. And so on this one, if our card bases are 5 by 7, that means 5 inches wide. Maybe I want this one to be 4.5 inches wide. So 4.5 inches wide, and then I need about a 1/2 inch glue tab on either side. I like that. So that adds 1/2 inch on either side. So it'd be 5.5 inch wide paper I would need. I haven't even talked about the depth. It's 5 inches, right? It's the offcut from earlier. So 5.5 inches. And again, it's 5 inches deep, and that works for me, I think. Let me see if I brought this back. Yeah, it's a little bit too deep still, so I'll cut some off. No worries. We are going to die cut and things like that. Not die cut, but I'm going to use a punch. And we're going to take 1/2 inch off the bottom. So by the time I take 1/2 inch off the bottom, a little bit more, that's probably good. Okay. So again, I'm not even going to trim that down anymore. I have that. It's 5 inches by 5.5, and that's what works for me. If you have some different numbers, do those, whatever is it you like. And so I'm going to score on 1/2 inch all around and stuff for the top. So 1/2 inch for my glue tab, 1/2 inch for my glue tab, and at the bottom, because this paper definitely has a direction, 1/2 inch for my glue tab. And then I always trim these parts away. Again, if you have that nice Anna Griffin set, I'll put the video there. I'll refer back to that. That way you can just basically create them with that. It's super easy. Obviously, they're dies. You just run it through. So what I'm doing here is on just a little bit over from the score line that was created, and just a little bit above it. I'm just notching that out because it just looks cleaner. Now on this top part, I'm not going to do that because I'm going to die cut it. Now, if you want to use your little scissors, I'm just going to use a scrap piece of paper. If you had something like this, let's say, I would just come down across the top, really nice and neat. Let's just pretend this is something. So I would just bring it here and try to do it as straight as you can, and come across the top here, or however. Now, you see how I'm doing it? The scissors cut basically, well, not very well, but the scallop backwards, and we would want it the other way, sorry. Yep, you gotta pay attention for that. So come across the edge. This paper is really gross for this. If it was sturdier paper, it would cut nicer, see? And what I usually do when I come back up and I know it already cut something funky is I go and I'll try to line up a scallop with a scallop, like right there. And now when I cut, that scallop continues. Hope that makes sense. It's kind of like if you're using a punch. You just got to make sure that a scallop is matched up with the scallop, and then it will just continue, okay? So that's a way of making like a little scallop edge with something as simple as little scissors. So I would just take these and cut across, or whatever it is you want to use. But today I have, and this is really funny because my paper feels kind of, again, more playful. I have a little train. I don't know when or why I bought this. I don't know. So we'll use that, and it'll probably be very noticeable. Hopefully it's not too flimsy. So you always start in the center, do your punch, and then line it up again. So right here's the larger train. I have to line that up. And I go to the right there. And see, that is coming, cutting off quite a bit. And then just right here on the edge. There's just a little bit that was left. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. I have snowflake ones too and stuff like that. Of course, you could design these on whatever die cut machine you have. Like, I can just cut that off, but I'm going to go ahead and line it up to make you a little pocket, or maybe you already have a pocket design on there. You know, whatever. Oh my gosh, how cute is that? You guys, I was just like, let me grab a punch, and then I saw this one. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I didn't even know I had that. Okay, so that is going to be my larger pocket, and I'm going to make the small pockets very similar. So we're going to fold those in. Fold this in. And now I have to make sure my die cuts, since I'm kind of reverse doing this, will fit this pocket, right? So, if you remember, he is 4.5 inches wide and however tall. Do not put things in that will stick out the top, please. It all needs to be contained in here, right? So I can put it on this side, I can put it on this side, whatever I feel like is best. I'll put it on this side, okay? So that's my one pocket. Now I can still do the same Follow Law paper because I have plenty of it. Little offshoots or something else, you know, whatever else you think might coordinate. I think what I'm going to do is this has some little peppermint paper, so let me, or something like that, but I'll be right back. So here, you know, I'm not saying your pockets have to be a certain size or whatever, other than you have to have a large one and 2 smaller ones, whatever that means to you. So if I have these and I want to share these, not this one, like I said, I've been using this one, it is like almost 3 3/4 inches wide. So I'm going to make my pocket that is 3 3/4 inches wide, means we have to have it at 1 inch. And then as far as the depth, maybe like 2.5 inches deep. So 2.5 inches we only need, and then we need to trim it a little bit. So let's say 3.5 inches deep, my paper, for both pockets. I might make a smaller pocket for the other one, like a little thinner. But 3.5, okay, it's 2.5. So 3.5 inches plus, let me write that down. In the other direction, 3 3/4 plus 1 inch by 4 3/4. Okay, so I'm gonna cut some paper down 3.5 by 4 3/4, and I'll be right back. Everything out. I did cut it at 3.5 inches off the bottom of my paper, so the whole width is 3.5 inches, and I cut 2 pockets because I need one for the other swap too. I need 4 of them in total, right? So this one's 3.5 by 4 3/4, but this little piece that's left over here I think works out for my small pocket, so I'm just gonna, whatever this is, that's gonna be my even smaller pocket. And for right now, just to have measurement, that's 3.5, because remember we cut it the same on this side, and this small side it is by 2.5. So, again, it's what you need for your swap. 3.5 by 4 3/4, 3.5 by 4 3/4, and this one's 2.5 by 3.5, okay? And we're just gonna do the same thing to make our pockets. Of course, you have that beautiful die set, you know, make your dies. Definitely ways to manipulate the height of it. I don't know about the width, but you can probably do that too if you wanted it skinnier or something. So on this guy, again, just like before, we want to do 1/2 inch glue tabs, and I like half inch glue tabs. If you don't want to do 1/2 inch, don't do it. Do 1/4 inch or whatever. And then here, 1/2 inch. So on those 3 sides. Same thing for this little guy. It's going to take a lot off of this one. So again, like if I decide, well, maybe I still want to use this paper, but I'm just going to use the 1/4 inch glue tab, you know, whatever. But I have some small little labels I want to be using, so that works out. And again, we're going to notch away just so that you can glue it a little bit nicer. So just on the other side there, just a little bit. I got pretty close on that one, okay. Same thing with this one. I don't know if I'm going to follow up with die cuts, that way I can get this video out today, but I feel like, because my kids are still asleep right now, that's why I sound like I just woke up, because it's very early. Okay. And I'm going to punch them just like before, so I'm going to take it right to the middle. And I'll do the same thing with all of them just because I am in love with this punch. Oh, look at that, I already cut it. Alright, there goes that one. And this guy lines up here. Okay, I'll do the same thing with my little guy on the top. So again, you're going to make your pockets like you need. You have to have one, what I would consider large, and 2 small ones. Please don't put 2 huge ones. It has to be 1 large, 2 small, okay? 2 smaller. And just to recap, this was 5.5 by by 5, right? So it's just the offcut, so it's 5.5 by 5, and then we did our scoring. And this one over here is 3.5 by 4 3/4, because that works for me. If you just want to use my numbers, that's fine. This one's 2.5 by 3.5. All of them are scored at 1/2 inches, you know, on the little all around stuff for the top. And if you were going to, you know, use a little tape, edge die or whatever it is that you have, that'd be great. So again, this little guy's going to pop up like right here. This one's going to be down here. So all your creativity, guys, is not in the extra things you send. It's in this right here, right? What we're doing right now. If you have some other edge die that you really want to use or enjoy using or whatever it is, you know, part of this, I am decorating it right now, right? We don't need extra decorations. The decoration is the paper, the pockets, you know, stuff like that. So if we have this and this, and like I said, please do not layer pockets on top of pockets. So what I mean by that is, like, if you had this and then, oh, I'm going to put another pocket on top of that one, but then another one over here. 3 pockets max, okay? And not on top of each other, please. Let's see here. Ooh, that's not good. I just realized I left this glue open. Yeah, not great. Okay, let me find a glue that will be acceptable. I'll be right back. Okay, so again, I like to glue this kind of behind these guys because it helps hold down that glue there. So I'm going to put it all in here. And as much on that little train part that was cut that I can. And like I said, I like to put this bottom glue tab behind these guys because I feel like it just holds it down better. And again, we're decorating the inside of the card. I think this is going to be really fun, honestly. Really sweet. And the reason I have such a tight turnaround is because I figure this is more something you want to use right now during this time, so I want you guys to have it plenty in time for Christmas, or like a little tag you might need real quick, or whatever it is that might help you decorate or do something. It's here. I might still do this stuffed embellished case, right? The big case, not the little one that we just did with the beads, which was a lot of fun. But the big embellishment case. So anyway, I hold this down for a little bit, and then I bring in something to make sure that it's not glued down. That feels good. And I'm gonna glue these guys too. So again, I designed this to go with that little thing there, and then maybe this guy. I'm not really sure where I need to stick this guy down, so let's get this right here, just to give us some space, because whatever's up here, obviously, like I said, you don't want things sticking out, but I think that's probably good for most of the label sizes that I have, so that's good. Let me just glue this one down. And these I'm going to have to hold for a minute because they're really slippery kind of paper, so I'm not going to bore you guys with that, but I'm going to hold this one down just like I did on the other one, and then I'm going to glue that one down just like I'm doing right now, and get it the other one. Okay. Ooh, thank goodness that fell up. Put this guy here and here. And just like right here. Okay, so I'm going to hold that down, make sure it's not glued shut, and then I'm going to glue that one there. Guys, and that is my basic card base. Okay, no decoration, no decoration. We're not doing anything extra, guys. It's just this. This is where you're putting your creativity. And then, of course, whatever else we're going to put in here. So I did have this, guys, like I said. And so let me see. And again, if you want to design a little something, you know, to go on top of this to make it look cute, a little doily or something, no clippies. No clips, okay, because that adds quite a bit. Nothing like that. I suppose if you want to paper clip it, that might be okay, because paper clips are pretty thin profile, right? They're pretty low profile. I don't even have one right here to show. But if there's something you want to paper clip on top, no wooden clips, like anywhere in this, please. So there's that, and of course, like I said, if you want to put a little doily or a little something cute, or maybe a little die cut, you know, topper piece, you glue it on, whatever, but to make it look cute, that's fine. Just not adding too much bulk. Like, we're not decorating with rosettes, we're not, just very flat, please, please, please. And then up here, I'm going to put my 5 die cuts that are like label die cuts, and then here are going to be my 5 die cuts. Again, they can be layered, they can just be, you know, like background pieces. You know, you have all these Anna Griffin dies, like if you want to cut something, I'm just going to grab, I don't know, if it goes along with yours, you know, let's say we have like this cut out and that's part of it or whatever. Again, if you're doing cut aparts, you know, just cut them really nicely down to size. Don't just leave a big piece of paper that the person has to cut later. And that'll work too for die cuts, even though I really, die cuts, right? It should be cut with a die. But if that's something you want to share, you know, it goes along with your paper, it's in your paper pack, go for it. So I'm going to do the label dies. I think we'll do the die cuts in the next video just so I can get this video out, and then I can dedicate a little more time to showing what I would consider for my die cuts. And I know I want to do some layered ones. I like little reindeer. I didn't get to do that in my last loaded pocket, and so things like that. So let me grab some label dies and I'll be right back. So I have some different little dies. I'm actually probably going to pull out this one tonic set. I was hoping to find my one that I just picked up, the Fisker's Punch, and I don't know where it is. You guys know I just picked up a label punch. Maybe no, you don't know, but in a Joanne video I recently picked up, and I'm like, where is it? Ooh, is it over there? I might be. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm going to use the labels that I just recently got in that Crafter's Companion set. I do like these guys. I like the smaller size of this, so like maybe this one and this one. These guys, you know, are very basic, but again, they, you know, layer up together. That's fine. These are too big for what I want, and probably too big for, you know, the purposes of this here. So I have those. What else? I was thinking maybe a small, like, tag shape. That can also be considered a label die, of course. So maybe from this set, because these are all pretty small. And then I thought, is there something small? So that's what I mean by a label die. It's just smaller, you know, like this little guy would be good. And I wanted to see what's in this. Look, it's a fancy filigree set, and there's this little middle piece, and I thought, well, maybe that will work. But I don't know what it looks like, so let's see. Or the size, should I say. Let's see, would that fit in my pocket? Would that fit in my pocket? That's all we care about. It looks like it will. Let me get this out of here somehow. Oh, I don't want to use that, because if that gets nicked or done something funny. I don't mean nicked like stolen, I mean like hurt. Oof, these are really in there. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna end up poking myself or something. I just need a little bit of give. Come on, buddy. There we go. And then use my nails. This is on here, my goodness. Oh, that was really quite annoying. All right. And you can use fun colors. I feel like with this one, I'd rather just cut out a white paper, and then this one too, like the center of this. But this, I'm probably going to cut out of some fun colored paper from the paper pack, and then, you know, maybe a craft color or something. I don't know. But either way, I'm going to come back and I'll have my 5 little labels, okay? I'll be right back. I have quite a little mess here. I need to keep these things together. I'll probably go ahead and cut all the dies for everybody, you know, for all the different cards right now. So I have that done. And then again, I just pop that in there. If you're doing a glitter mix, make sure it's nice and sealed up. You can put like a little sample of ribbon, just some embellishment, okay? And again, with the ribbon, don't do too much because then it gets thick, thick, thick. Or like twine, or just some embellishment, one embellishment. And I know a lot of times they say that's the minimum requirement. For this one, I'm just saying one and only one, guys, please. Let's keep it within reason. So with these guys, I think I'll glue them together. I wasn't going to. But then what if somebody gets it, since this shape is kind of funky, and they don't think that these go together, you know what I'm saying? Or like it's its own thing. So I'm going to glue this one and the other one together, and I will be right back. Okay guys, and the whole point of these is basically so that the person can stamp and use them. That's why they're label dies. So that's why this is white, or a light color that they can still stamp on, a stampable surface, you know, so this is also white. Again, they can stamp on that pretty well. Light colored, you know, craft card, and like a light blue little tag shape that's I'm going to consider my label. So that's 5 of them. Again, we're not trying to create this thing so it's so bulky, and then with these guys, so definitely make it so that it's something that can be stamped on, not glitter paper, you know, things like that, and just pop them in there. So I have my 5, and look, you can see that, even that adds thickness. That's why, to me, that's a good amount, because on this side we're going to have a little more thickness, and that's that, guys, okay? I mean, obviously you can squish it shut here, but this is basically what we're looking at, and look at that, and that's not bad. By the time I put in some die cuts, because some of them are just going to be one layer and some will be layered up, but layering a die cut isn't like it's going to be like this thick, you know. That's that. So that is it for today. I guess I'll have a part 2, like I said, do the die cuts, but I think you can get started. You understand what I mean. 5 die cuts on this side that coordinate, that go along with your little theme or whatever it is that you're doing, and I think that'll be really, really fun. yeah, so my email's in the description box. Again, you have until the 29th. I'm going to continue making all my pockets for these guys, so when I come back, I'll have the pockets and my little die cuts and everything made. And then we'll move on to just making the large die cuts, 5 large die cuts on this other side. All right, guys. Thanks so much. I'll see you at the next one. Bye now.